Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio, and today I am working on my mission inspiration for August. So last month I did a double spread, so I figured I would just keep with the trend and do a double spread. Now the first prompt was to add the suggested colors to the background. And I don't know if you could see, probably couldn't see that picture long enough to see what the colors were, but they're greenery, desert flower, and honey ginger. So that's kind of pink, brown, and green in my world, because I'm going with what I have, because I have so much paint. I don't need any more. So the desert flower was probably more salmony colored. I didn't have anything quite that color, and I wasn't up for mixing it, so I'm just going with pink. Alright, so now it's dry, and I'm still working on that first prompt. I'm going to add my brown and my greenery. So the green's kind of close. The brown is not as orangey as the honey ginger, but I kind of mix them together, and I think it works well that way. And this stencil is part of a pack of stencils I bought a long time ago at Joann's, and it is a paper stencil, but I've had it so long it's got lots of layers of paint and works pretty well. I just never wash it, I just let it keep building up paint. So the next prompt is to glue hand-stamped or patterned tissue paper, and this is some tissue paper that I had stamped a while ago, and I was going to tear it up and collage it on, but then when I saw it sitting there, I'm like, I kind of like the square, but I have to, make the edges uneven. And you can really tell that, paper has a grain. One side's easy to tear, you can get long lines, and the other side, not so much. But I'm hoping that the uneven edges will help, so if I don't get it perfectly straight, nobody will notice. And I try to be very careful putting this on because I don't do full sheets very often, and I'm afraid I might get some wrinkles. So I just put a little bit on at a time and work my way across. This is gift wrap tissue that I stamped on that I got at the dollar store. So it is kind of fragile, so you don't want to, work it too much. Carefully sticking that card in there to get it in the crease. There's a few little wrinkles, but not too bad, I'd say. Now, I liked how it looked white-ish before I glued it down. The matte medium kind of darkened everything, so I'm going over a little bit with some more pink just to kind of fade it out. And then it dried, and I decided I wanted a little bit of the white back, so I've got an almost empty pot of gesso, so it's kind of dry, and I'm just going to scrape that across and create some interest and covering up that little spot. I don't know if you noticed that when I was stenciling, the paint must have not been completely dry because it stuck right there. Alright, so now it says to add a focal image or a shape. So I just grabbed some things out of my stash and These are some practice faces I did a while ago. I had just tossed them into the stash as well. And we'll just put that one on there. You can tell most of my images come from my HGTV magazine. I haven't subscribed to that for years, but I saved them all, so I have lots of stuff from there. And we're just trying to come up with an arrangement. Then I decide it needs more in the background, so we're going to add some more brown and green, kind of mixing it together, and a little bit of gold. We want some sparkle. We're going to have brown and green flowers. How's that? With, you know, a hint of gold. Okay, now those are on and dry. We're going to add our little focal image clusters. And with this, I decided I didn't want to use matte medium. I didn't know how that pencil drawing would work. And so I'm using Yoo-Hoo glue, trying to get everything stuck down. So once everything's stuck down, I decide to go around it, and this is just a soft lead pencil, nothing special, just going around. So the next prompt, which somehow did not get filmed, sorry about that, was to add another layer of color. So you can see it's kind of got a vintagey look. I did a little bit of the brown green, very thin, and kind of brushed it around there just to kind of give it a tint. So the next prompt, actually I think this prompt and the last prompt are out of order, was to add one or two of the words that were suggested. And there were quite a few words suggested, but there was the word fearless and queen. So I decided my girl was a fearless queen. And here I decide I want to outline them more. I'm trying this fountain pen, it's not working very well. So I go around with a micron pen, just to make it more interesting. And also, I think that was the next prompt. Did I miss it? To add doodles. And it said in black, white, or gold or metallic, I think. So I kind of did it in black and metallic, or gold. And really, I'm just messing around. Like, saying, what else can I do to this page? We'll just circle some of the dots. No rhyme or reason, just doing it. Oh yeah, and then I decide, okay, part of our doodle can be a border. There, we bordered it. And I decided since she was a queen, another one of my doodles could be a crown, so we just gave her a crown. Alright, so the last, I think this is the last prompt, was to add, oh no, there's one after this. Thread or staples for texture. So I chose thread, just because I didn't want to staple onto my page and I'd already got my images down. And so I'm just making some funky little bows, and we're just going to glue them on. I was using this card to get a measurement, but I give up and just go for it. And again, there's no like rhyme or reason to any of the stuff on here. Just really random choices. But it works, don't you think? It's kind of the fun of these mission inspiration prompts, is to see what you can come up with. Yes, here's the finish with journaling or splatters. I try all kinds of things to get it to show up on there, and not liking it. Do eventually write a little bit. You don't see much of it, but that's okay. I did it. That's what matters. Oh yeah, there's where I tried red and then washed it off. Yeah, red does not go with the colors. And just darkening. This is a charcoal pencil, and I'm just smearing that around so that it will really emphasize some of those objects. Make them stand out a bit more. And then I decided to go around the flower to make it a focal or a point of interest. Alright, and that is about the last thing I think I do. So what do you think? Did it turn out okay? I kind of like it. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please hit like. Feel free to comment. And if you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.